Hello, Carla.
Hey Bruce, how you going?
I'm good. Welcome to the Unmuted Festival.
Thank
And
you.
I just wonder if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Carla Mitterlehner. Um, I'm big 51 years old. You can tell me that's not true if you like.
Oh, no, that can't be right.
Thanks. And I'm from Secure East, and yeah,
Oh, very nice part of the world.
a little bit about me, a tiny bit.
Yeah, very good. And the internet is good at Eastern Kilda today.
Today, yes, we've had some issues, haven't we?
We have had some interesting, stuttering in our connections. I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about your involvement with Wild at Heart. How long and how did you get involved?
Yeah, I think I've been with Wild at Heart about nearly 5 years. And a friend of mine that used to accompany me in open mic nights suggested, because she had her hands full with other people that she was helping in the same way, suggested Wild at Heart. And she must have done that about, I don't know, every month for a good year and a half. And I said, oh, come on, can't we have time to rehearse? And she's like, look, go here. They're like-minded. You'll definitely find someone to play the guitar alongside you. So one day I grabbed my dear friend and yeah, we strutted down to Soul Green in South Melbourne and never looked back. Yeah, it was great from day one. Felt part of the family on the first day, So yeah, I've really thoroughly enjoy it. It's like another family. Actually, it's like a family.
It is.
um,
It really is, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. So it's my family, Wild at Heart. All the people are amazing there, and yeah, I've brought a few people along myself. Um,
Yeah, well, that's great.
yeah,
And part of it is the mentors, isn't it? There's participants and there's mentors, and sometimes you can hardly tell the difference between them. But would you like to talk a little bit about your mentors?
yeah. So currently I have Ike. And we've been working hard at my EP that should hopefully come out at the end of this month. That's been interesting ride. Didn't ever think that I would do anything like that. So um, yeah, looking forward to actually finally getting to record the lyrics. Sorry, the vocals, because everything else is pretty much all done. So
Excellent. Yeah.
I've had
Would you
other
like? Hmm,
that have
sorry.
been all the mentors are fantastic in my eyes. Some of them are a lot younger than me, but they're just so talented, and just never feel that age difference. Yeah, unless you're talking about old TV shows and stuff they're like, what?
Yeah. That something in art that sort of carries across that it's about the material and it's about the artist and things like age really are not relevant.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. I don't seem to have a generation gap between anyone. My best friend, who passed away a few years ago, she was 94. So we were just like two peas in a pod.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So, would you like to talk a little bit about the art and music that you create?
Sure. Um, so I'm an actor. That's sort of my first port of call was, I should say. Now things have changed and music is, but I love doing both. I'm a really keen photographer. My friends would probably cringe at that comment. I like to take, say, 1,000 photos of the one thing from all different angles. So I need to get it right. And I guess my best subject to photograph is my cat and myself. We just selfie all the time, and he just loves the paparazzi, I call it, for the dog, the paparazzi. um,
Fantastic.
The music is like a real healing process for me. I never really think about what I'm going to write about. It just happens. It just happens. So the more serious stuff of mine seems to be what takes the most time. Painstaking process, but at the end of it feeling really like I've dealt with stuff that I probably needed to deal with. So the fun stuff, that's whipped together in just a couple of minutes. So, and I think I would say that my genre is really widespread, anything and everything. Eclectic Carla.
That's good. That's really good. Okay, is there something you'd like to tell us about yourself that perhaps we don't know?
Those of you might maybe know I'm stage name is Minke Lush, so if you can't find me under Carla, you might find me under Minke. Yeah, that came about. You want to know how that came about? That's my mum's maiden name and my cat, my old cat. Swap them around and you get Minke Lush.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, I don't think I really become Minke Lush. I think I'm still Carla. I don't think I have a total different persona, but it's a good name and it grabs people's attention.
Very good. Yeah. Now we're the next part of the process when we're chatting about this is to talk about what it does for us as a person, being involved in the creative process and music, etc. And you talked a little bit about some of the difficult or the more serious things that you've done and what that's like. How does it feel when you actually going through that process? What's going on for you at that time?
Oh, well, I'll use Here I Am, the song that I wrote for my father. That was unexpected, to say the least. Dominique was my mentor at that stage, and I'm so glad that she was. It was such an emotional process. I just talked about my life in a nutshell. And Dominique picked out the common point that I talked about, which happened to be my dad. And I just had done a whole heap of EMDR work, which is the tapping therapy. And yeah, obviously I needed to do a little bit more. So that's where that song came from. And at the end of it, it was just a really good feeling to know that I kind of condensed the story of my dad and my terrible relationship, emotional, traumatic, and yeah, cried in the writing process, and got stumped quite a few weeks in a row, and just couldn't put anything out there. But it's a real progressive track, and it sort of explains the story in just a few verses, and I think it sums itself up really. Yeah, but really healing at the end of it, just feeling like that was a section of my life that is now completed. Yeah.
Yeah. So is other material that you do inspired in a similar way? Is it drawn from your personal experiences, or are there other things that sort of have an impact on it?
Definitely personal experiences. I think that's definitely where all my things come from, all my lyrics and creations. Oh dear. Yeah, a pretty similar process. Some of the fun ones, like Strawberries and Cream, that was written in a couple of minutes. Actually, I was writing the last verse while we were trying to nut out some music to go with it. So a lot of it's improv. That's the sort of acting that I do. So I just wing it, you know. I'm known to be walking around and just pulling songs out of nowhere and writing about what I see when I'm walking, or you know, oh look, there's Bruce with his headphones on, make a song out of that.
Yeah. Well, that's really interesting to hear. So yeah, it does have those similarities to the improv process in your drama, of making it up as you go along, and then once you've done it, wow, voila, you've got something really interesting.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Just wondering if you'd like to talk to us about how your music and your art helps you in your personal well-being.
Yeah, so it's just a major expression of myself. It brings out the emotional side, it brings out the happy side, it brings out my inner child, which I think is important for everyone to not lose sight of their inner child. Um, it allows me to really delve into things that I probably wouldn't talk to anyone else about, but when it's in a song, it's totally different. It's yeah, it's reality in a different way. So I think it helps me to tell my story as well. Um, yeah.
And I've heard you also say that that you hope that when you perform these things, that perhaps someone listening to it might get something from it too.
Absolutely. I definitely know that the song about my dad and my relationship is certainly may not be relative in some ways to other people, but it certainly pulls a tear to people's eyes. So obviously it's moving in some way.
Yeah, that's really nice, isn't it? That's great. It, yeah, somehow that performance transcends something that wouldn't be able to be done otherwise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very much so.
I wonder if now we might talk a little bit about yeah, what's happened in the last 18 months with particularly with COVID and some of the results of how we've needed to live differently and how that's affected your art making.
Yeah, well, affected it in many ways, I guess. Um, like everyone else, the headspace is not always the best. And COVID certainly put a lot of pressure on a lot of people. And I've certainly felt that pressure on myself. I'm very out there community based person. I love getting out into the community and doing stuff with people from my community. You know, it's really important to me. And to have that snatched away has been challenging. But for someone who's not technical at all, I learnt to Zoom and ran some interviews last year for our new festival, which was, you know, a total new learning curve. You know, I couldn't have done anything like that if I had have gone and done that face to face with someone. It would have been noise and distractions and everything, I guess. And learning how to run a Zoom meeting. You'd know all about that, Bruce.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of been good to do classes on workshops online because you actually get to see everyone, you know, um, and you can go out into breakout rooms and things like that and create music together and collaborate. So that's really positive. At the end of that day, you know, you've done something, you've been creative, and you've done it with other people. So that's a real plus for my headspace. Um, I have a really short attention span, which is ADHD in a nutshell. So for me, to sit still is really hard. So Zoom's, you know, helped me be on time. Look out. Something new for me. And yeah, help me stay and complete something. So I think when we were in person, I found it really hard to sit and concentrate with all the people around doing the same workshop. So if we were doing a writing exercise and someone started chatting, it just throws me, totally throws me. So um, it's helped me in many ways. It's just being able to keep in touch is and you get to learn a lot about the other person that you may not stop. You might say hi as you're passing, but you may not actually get into conversation with that person. So I think there's a lot more of that now, which, you know, stimulates the brain. It's all good.
Yeah, that's good. And another thing that I've noticed that sort of, whether you're from Gippsland or Northern Victoria or East St Kilda or wherever, geography is not a boundary with involvement when it's being done via this sort of method.
Yeah.
Apart from the stuttering that we sometimes get when we're on our connections, eh?
Yeah, I don't think that's got anything to do with our distance. I think it's just the comfort that it provides. But yeah, it's really good to meet people from different places like Ballarat and yourself. And
yeah, it's been terrific, isn't it?
It's like, you know, there's people interstate. We're collaborating with some people from Tunafoolery in the States. So that's been really cool. You know, it's nighttime there when it's our morning, and
but it
yeah,
works.
never
But it
would have been
works.
able to do stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
So it's that's, you know, as damaging as it's been for most people, I think it's a plus.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to get back in person. There's nothing like a hug, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Like a hug. Mm.
All right. Well, might move on now to the future. What are your hopes and dreams for your future with your art?
Well, I think I'm just coming into my prime, so just keep going with that. I think that I'm starting to really find myself. And well, where are you? Oh, there I am. And yeah, that's allowing me to express myself and move on with things that maybe I haven't quite dealt with in the best or the, you know, the final way. So getting this EP out would be really good stuff. To keep performing, to be able to get back into live gigs, that's like, yeah, that's a hope for the future. I won't say it's a vision, but it's a hope. And yeah, just to do what I love, which is this. Yeah.
Excellent.
It's that time of life where I don't want to just do what I have to do. I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah, great. Well, we need to finish up soon and get back to the rest of the Unmuted Festival. So thanks so much, Carla. It's been really nice to chat with you. I just wonder if you'd like to finish off with an introduction of a song that we'll play immediately after this interview.
Absolutely. So I did a little recording for you, and the song's called Smile, and it's something that I worked on for a little bit, just, you know, not too long. As it's fun. I hope you like it, and yeah.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, we'll see you back on the unmuted screens.
Cheers.
Thanks,
Bruce.
Carla. Cheers.
Bye.
Okay, bye then.
Bye. Hey, this is my new single, Smile. Do you like pillow fights or scary movies at night? Do you watch the latest news or get down to the rhythm and blues? I like it like that. Do you like your bread white? I like Vegemite alright. Do you take your slices toasted or your coffee black and roasted? Do you like it like that? Do you like it like that? My bass big and fat. Do you like it like that? My bass big and fat. Do you like it like that? My bass big and fat. Do you like it like that? My bass big and fat. Ooh! Ooh, do you like it like that? Do you wake up
on the left? Do you wake up on the right side of life, baby? Do you wake up in the morning or do you rise at night? Ooh, do you like it like that? Do you like it like that? My bass big and fat. Do you like it like that? My bass big and fat. Oh, do you like it like that? My bass big and fat. Oh, do you like it like that? Bass big and fat. Oh! Ooh, do you like it like that? Tell me, baby. I want to know what makes you smile. Do you like it to the left? Do you like it to the right? Do you like it? Ooh, do you like it like that? Do you like it like that, baby? Oh, like that. My bass big and fat. Oh, do you like it like that? My bass big and fat. Do you like it like that? My bass big and fat. Do you like it like that? My bass big and fat. Oh! Ooh, do you like it like that? Do you like it like that, baby?